Okay, so apparently I have to turn my audio on um, to get it to work. Okay. Hopefully you guys are going to hear me in a second because I did not turn on my audio at all. Oh, okay, so apparently I have to turn my audio on. Okay, hold on. You guys are going to hear me in a second because I did not turn on my just one second audio at all. Sorry if you guys get a little bit of reverberation. All right. Okay. All right. I think we're all right. That was totally my fault. I did not click the proper button to start the webinar. So that was there's a green. There was a mic button on Webinar Jam, and I did not realize I did not click it. So sorry about that. Thanks, guys. Okay, so welcome. I want to give people just a few more minutes to show up. How's everyone doing today? If you have and let me know. Make sure that you guys can still hear me. Okay, am I still coming through? Just want to make sure. Can you guys still hear me? I had to turn down the volume in my computer so you don't hear me twice, so we don't get any reverberation. But I just wanted to make sure. Can you guys still hear me? Good, doing great. Okay, yes, awesome, Ed. Great to see you, Don. Okay, good. All right, so I'm excited about today. I've got a few announcements that I'm gonna make. Some things that we're doing for all of our members, and that I'm really super excited about. Then we're going to get a little bit more into the just a real quick presentation. I'm going to show you guys some of the things that we're working on and that we're going to be releasing for you. And so, and it addresses actually some of the questions that that Harlan had posted previously. So I'm excited to see some of those questions. Great, good to hear that, Harlan. So, all right, so I just want to go over some of the updates we're making first. The first update that we're making to everyone's membership is we're actually working, and we're pretty much done, and just sort of last minute little details. We're doing brand new redesigned agency websites for people. So I'm really excited about that. It's a little bit more updated look, and that is coming. I've also gotten some and a lot of this, guys, as you send me your feedback, we're gonna make updates and upgrades as you guys send me your feedback. So another thing that we've gotten some feedback in is a few people, as we're communicating to people, we're sending out that they will submit a website request, and we pretty much within an hour or so are going to send them back an email that says, hey, we got your request, we're working on it, basically. And that's not automatically generated. We do it manually just to make sure that we are actually working on it, that does happen, that it gets put into the process and the system starts going. So I just want you guys to be aware that some people weren't getting their email, so or they're going to spam or whatever. Things happen with email. So in order to try to avoid that issue in the future, we're working on making all of our submissions go through our help desk. That hasn't happened yet. It's in the process of being set up so that everything will be tracked up. So you'll be able to go and see, okay, where are we with the website? What's going on? And you'll be able to get updates to where things are with the websites that you request. So that is an update we're working on, and that's due to the feedback that we got from a few of you who got the emails or they didn't see them or they went to spam or whatever happened. We just want to make sure that the process is as seamless as possible. So we're going to go in, we're going to implement the a more robust system so that you'll, at the very least, if you don't get the email, you'll be able to log into a system and see where everything is and see our feedback and our comments or questions. Because we've also had questions. So some people have submitted some things, and like for instance, with the agency sites, we have PayPal buttons on there, and some, I guess one of them at least, their PayPal account wasn't set up for business, and we need a business account, a business PayPal account, in order for our PayPal buttons to work for the site. So we let them know that, and they didn't see the email. So they were like, hey, why have I not heard back from you guys? And we were like, well, we were trying to get a hold of you, and they didn't see that. So anyway, we're really excited about that tracking system. It should be implemented within the next, I'm hoping within the next 2 weeks, maybe a week if I can get it done. But should be done within the next 2 weeks. We're just playing around with a few different options, and that should be good and prevent some of those hiccups. The other thing that we're working on, like I said, are the updated agency sites. And we're going to talk a little bit about some of the features actually that you probably don't know are in the agency sites that we sent you. There's actually a landing page built into that, and I'm going to show you guys that today. The updated one will have that as well. Okay, so we're going to get into that, but first, I want to make sure people understand the premise of what this is about and exactly what we do in order to use websites to bring in new clients. Yeah, Harlan, the new websites, I will get that out to you guys soon. I can send you a link. First, I just want to talk about what is it that we're doing to get these clients, to get them in with websites. And this is the basic premise. Let me just click on this so we can go to the presentation. All right, so we're basically offering a free website design, and there's different ways that you can offer this. There's different ways that you can phrase it, but it's basically the same thing. You offer a free website design, but the design is free, but we charge for the website and the hosting. So I hope that's clear, because a few people weren't exactly, they were like, wait, what, are we giving away these websites? No, what we're doing is we're giving away the design. So the other, and this is all just in the way we phrase it, but the other way that we may categorize this is we'll pre-build the website to get your foot in the door, and then we sell the website when they're happy. These two things are exactly the same. So we're giving away a free website design and then charging them when they want the website, or we're pre-building the site and selling it when they're happy. And so these are exactly the same thing. So if I use those two interchangeably, I'm talking about the exact same thing. So pre-build the site or give away the design for free and then sell them when they're happy, or sell the site when, once they're like, yes, I like the pre-built, the demo you made, and so, I'll buy the site from you. So I just want to make sure that is clear, because I do use those two things interchangeably, but they're really the same. All right. This has been our success formula as far as growing our agency. just because websites are so universally needed, they're wanted, people understand what they are, and it's just so easy to find a business with an ugly website. And so everything that I do in general is built around finding these businesses that need a new website. So whether I'm going to a networking meeting, like a networking event, I'll pull out my phone. If someone, I'll ask people right at that event, what's your website? And they're either going to say, well, I don't have a website, or this is my website. Well, if they don't have a website, that gives me a great opportunity to come in and say, oh, well, hey, I can help you get a website and do it within your budget, right? And if they have a website, I'll pull out my phone and say, what's your domain? And I'll put it in my phone and I'll look it up right there. And if they start to, backtrack a little bit and become a little bit embarrassed, it's like, oh, it's really old, I haven't updated it in a while. Again, this is a perfect time to be selling those people on updating their website, because they know that they need a new one. They know that it's old. However, sometimes I'll pull up a website and they're like, yeah, we just got this rebuilt, and just like last week, and I'll pull it up and I'll say, this is not a great website. And I'll let them know, and they're like, oh wow, we just spent like all this money on a new website. And it's unfortunate that people are out there, they're selling these websites, and you pull them up and they're really not great sites, or they're not mobile responsive, or they have other issues or whatever. If they have a site, and I'll ask them, what do you know what it's built on? And if they say WordPress, that is another in for us, because we can say, really, what are you, who's managing those websites for you? What are you doing? Is someone going in and doing daily security updates? Is someone managing that? Is that someone's full-time job? Are you looking for someone to manage your site for you? Because if they are, I'll take that as well. If they have a new website, it's built on WordPress, sometimes even if it's not built on WordPress, but I'll get up to that in a minute. If it's built on WordPress, I'll come in and I'll say, look, if you're not having someone manage this, someone update it, someone, make sure that it's updated software, your chances of getting hacked or your website going down are very high. And all of this is true. This is not necessarily a scare tactic. This is just reality of having a website out there today. So I'll let them know, like, look, why don't you have us manage it? We do it at a very affordable price. As you need an update, as you need other things on your website, we're going to help you with all of that. And then we'll transfer their site over to us and we'll manage it for us. Ultimately, that gets the same result. I mean, it's a little bit less money up front, but it gets the same result of it gets me my foot in the door with that business owner. It allows me to build that relationship with the business owner. It allows me to contact the business owner on a regular basis, and my potential to upsell them on other marketing services is just super high, because it's just this ongoing relationship, rapport building that I'm able to do based on them being now my customer. And so, just imagine how that would change your business today if you had 10 new businesses every month. I'm just trying to speak conservatively, and you could definitely get more, but 10 new businesses every month where you had this rapport, where you could contact them, call them once a month, maybe even twice a month, just to see how they're doing, see how if they're happy, let them know you did an update, whatever. It really changes that relationship of you coming in and saying, hey, Mr. Business owner, I really want to pitch you on some marketing services. Good question, Don. Let me see. I'll try to address that before the end of the webinar today. So Don was just asking, is there any automation tool to finding poor websites? And we do have a tool, and we're going to make that available to you. It's not quite released yet, but we will make that available to you to help you find and search for websites. So one way you can find a poor website would be is if and this is not something we can do yet, but this is something we're looking to try to implement, is where we can actually tell what version of WordPress their website is. Because I know there's other softwares that will do this, and we can talk about those at a later date. But there are definitely tools where you can go and you can find what version is this. So you can see basically, is this the most updated version of WordPress? So yes, there are lead gen tools where you can actually go out and find websites that are haven't been updated. Like if they're like an old version of WordPress, that's definitely a great prospect to be able to go after. So that's the one. Yes, there are ones that will also do load time and stuff like that. So but the one we generally go after is WordPress version. So if they've got an old version of WordPress, that means there's nobody updating the site. They are open to hackers, and that gives us an immediate in to be able to come in and say, we can do your website, we can manage it, and we'll take care of it, and we'll do whatever we need to do to make sure it's secure and updated and all these things, right? So if we're talking to someone and they do not have a WordPress site, that does not necessarily close the door, because generally we can, if they're like, hey, we just had our website done, it's not WordPress, and here's the reason why, and blah, blah. And I'll kind of sell them on WordPress and say, here's why WordPress is good. And generally speaking, we can get about 90 to 95% accuracy of rebuilding their website with our builder. So we can go and we can take one of our templates and rebuild it so that it looks like the site that they have. So even if it's not WordPress, that does not close the door on us. We can still come in, we can still look at the website and say, and build it the way it looks, even if it's not WordPress. So it's not going to be 100%, because I have to say that, because I know there are some of you out there who are, if I said 100%, then you guys would be like, hey, this font size is like 1 point smaller and 1 point bigger, or this is like 2 points to the left or to the right, and so it will not be 100% accurate, but we can get pretty close that most people will not notice. And if you really need us to tweak and change all those little tiny nuances, we can work on those and do them until you're happy. But just so you know, we will try to rebuild the site. We can try to rebuild other sites that somebody has if they're not WordPress. And it could be, if they're like a really strange design, that may not be the case. But at that point, what we do is we try to convince them that, hey, look, I know you just got this website created, but it's not built really well. It's not really a good looking site, and you really should build it, to look more like a more modern site. Yeah, Don, I don't have any names of any tools right now. I have to go and check to see exactly what we use, because I don't personally use it every day. John was just asking, do I have a tool or resource to evaluate a website? There are definitely tools. I can't remember whether they will tell us whether there's an SSL certificate. I know they tell us what version of WordPress, but that's another one to go after if they don't have an SSL certificate, and being able to say, hey, look, we can build that for you, or we can set that up for you and host it, make sure it's secure. So anyway, that's generally, I love to do sort of networking events. And again, I'm not super I'm not a super salesman. I'm not an extrovert. I'm very much an introvert. The reason I love networking events is because the rules of engagement are very clear. I can go. People are there to build business. People are there to network with other businesses, and so we have. It's not like a party where you're not really sure whether you can talk about business or not, or in fact, parties really wear me out. Like I just get drained of energy trying to be social for too long, and so that is really difficult for me to go to different social events. But networking is different because I know why people are there. They're there to grow their business. They're there to network with other people, and so there's so many tools. Once you figure out a few little triggers, a few little questions that you can ask, then you can use those questions with everyone. And so it's much easier. I don't have to try to think on my feet. I don't have to, generally speaking, I can always slip in a question like, hey, what's your website? Hey, what's this built on? I'm just curious. I'm interested. When was the last time you updated it? I mean, generally I don't go that far because it'll come out in the conversation as I'm looking at it. So I love to be able to go to those events because I just know those little few things to say, and I have them sort of set in my brain, like to come up and just say, hey, what do you do? What's your business? Okay, tell me more about that. Do you have a website? What is the website? Look it up, and that's the same conversation with every single person. So it gets a little monotonous, but it doesn't get tiring because you can walk away with 20 potential clients, right? So that's why I love them. Okay, so now I know not everyone wants to go and do networking, but I think those principles of networking are important when you're out there in the world. You're talking to people, because it's can be super helpful just to let everyone know that you do websites. The more you let people know, the more people are going to approach you. I know that's not for everyone though, so we do have, let me pull this up real quick, 1 second. We did create a landing page that it's based on one that we use, and people can come on that page and basically sign up to get that. So I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about the landing page and where that is on your website and how you can go in and edit it, because it's if you set it up correctly, it can be super, super powerful. And if you use one of the lead finding sources and you find people who have outdated websites or other issues with their website, then it's just an easy in. You find the people who have outdated websites, you can send the same email to those people over and over and over again. But a lot of these lead finding softwares will let you insert your own, personalization to those businesses. So let's go ahead and let's look at, I'm going to exit out of this, and let's look at this design. So if you click on it, there's a pop-up. It'll ask you for their name, their email address, and their phone number. This can also be modified so that there's no pop-up and you just have a phone number. We've used both, but I figure that's a much easier modification than trying to add your own button. And so we're starting with the button, and if you want to modify it with the phone number, you can do it. You can have both too. So you have the button as well as the phone number. Generally, I would put that right in here in a big font about this size. Put the phone number that people can call you at. All right, and it basically just tells them, hey, this is really easy. You just choose your basic design. In this particular one, we're telling them that there's some pre-built themes that they can look at. We can customize it with their details, and then we'll send them the design, and they just have to sign up for free. Now remember, saying that this is free does not mean that you're not going to charge for it. Does not mean that you will not, when they want the site, they need to buy. What we're offering is free design, not necessarily free website, but free design. So they can get free design. The sites are, the basic designs are already done, but this is free design, not a free website. We are still going to charge them for the website between $400 and $600. We charge them for the website if once they're done. When we use this for lead gen, and most people are ecstatic to pay $400 to $600 a website because they've either been taught or told that it's going to cost them thousands of dollars to get a website design. So we offer the free design. That means we do it up front. The website's done up front. We send them a link. They'll see the link. They say, "Oh yes, I love it." Can I say, "Okay, this is where." And we're not trying to hide it. We're not trying to hide it from the beginning. We're letting them know this is free design. We did the design, and when we send them the link to the design, we're reiterating to them that, hey, we did this design. Let me know if you'd like to move forward with buying the website we built for you. So, and generally, $400 to $600 is that sweet spot. And we let them know, like, we're going to work within your budget, whatever your budget is. If they haven't told me what their budget is, I like to find that out before I price it, because if their budget is, if they budgeted $900 or $1,000 for a website, then I would much rather get $900 than $400. So, whenever I can, I let them know we will work within your budget. I ask them what their budget is, and we will do it free design. We send them the link, and then they have an option to purchase the website. So anyway, this is the landing page. It is mobile responsive, and so they will get all of this information. They have a design portfolio up here that they'll be able to see, and the other thing. So here's the thing. So if you decide to do an opt-in box, so that they're putting in their name, their email, and their phone number, you can do that. However, I'm going to give you guys a few suggestions if you do it that way, because when people submit a form like this, timing is really important. You don't want that request sitting in your inbox or accidentally going to spam or whatever. You don't want that to happen. So you need to act relatively quickly. But before all of these things are editable. So we have a developer license to a WordPress plugin tool called InstaBuilder. So we have added these to your agency sites, and you can come in here and edit these. So if you want to claim your, let's say, claim your absolutely free web design. You can change it however you want, just right within the interface here. So you just click off of that. You just kind of double click on it, and then you get this little thing to appear. It's going a little slow because I'm doing a lot on my computer right now. So, all right. But all of this can be edited, can be changed. The images, the text, whatever, and you can build new things. So if you want to put in a video element, here's a video element. you can drag and drop in a video element wherever you want to, and add it to this site. So you can use this template to duplicate. You can duplicate it and redesign it and put whatever you want to on it. It is 100% customizable, and you can make whatever changes you want or need to on there. So that is, again, it's built into your, if you go into the back end of your website, you will see one of the plugins near the bottom called InstaBuilder, and you can come in here. You can, this is for editing. You can, this is the URL. It's on most of them. You can change that URL. You can see statistics for that website. You can also duplicate it and unpublish it. You can do quite a bit. So anyway, that's this is, like I said, is on all of your sites. And for this button, all you have to do, you click this little gear button, and then the side is going to display, and you go to target link and edit pop-up. And then we're going to click on this, and we're going to go to that little gear. So I'm clicking that gear. HTML code. So basically, you just go to your whatever autoresponder you use, whether it's GetResponse, Aweber, MailChimp. You get the HTML opt-in code. You post it in here. You process it. And then these will be ready. You want to make sure with whatever you're using, make sure you add the phone number field to the opt-in box that you create in Aweber or GetResponse or whatever, right? You can drop that in here. If you, like I said, if you do not want to, all of this can be edited too. So I can edit this text. I can change these. I can change the text of this button. Here's the form button. Oh wait, where's the edit button right there. I can come in and edit the button, change the text, change the color, change the size, whatever I want. I can drag and make these different and all those types of things. So it's really easy to use. Yeah, Hiram, that's exactly right. So we're offering them basically a $2,000 to $3,000 site. They're getting it for $400 to $600. So, like I said, they're ecstatic most of the time. So first of all, this is a funnel. So we're getting them in with offering the free design. Then we're saying, okay, look, normally these sites would cost about, $2,000 to $3,000, but we'll work in your budget. A lot of people, they're thinking they're going to get a kind of crappy site for $400 to $600. And that's often what people's budgets are, right? And so they'll say, hey, I only have this much. Say, hey, look, that's fine. We can work within that budget. And they're like, wow, I'm getting a $2,000 to $3,000 site for $400 or $600. They're ecstatic about that. So anyway, like I said, all of this stuff is editable. It is already in your agency sites. It will be in the new upgraded agency site that we'll be releasing shortly. And again, if you want to add some different testimonials here, you can. If you want to add different design portfolio, everything here is 100% editable and changeable. And there's all sorts of, let's see, you can add images, text, video. This is box elements, divider lines. If you need to do that, you can add a countdown timer. So, if you have a countdown timer here, it can count down. And again, if you don't like the design of that countdown timer, there's different designs that you can choose from. Fancy text, flat, and these colors can be changed as well. Glossy, circular. Okay, so lots and lots options here. HTML, some JavaScript. You can add columns. You can add people to be able to comment. So just a ton. You can even add today's date if you want to say, hey, you know, this expires today, or this offer expires soon. You can add today's date. You can add a carousel. Anyway, there's lots and lots of options here. It's really well designed, and I think you guys are going to like it. And again, whatever you want to change it to. So let's see. All right. So Nicholas is asking, how do we get these? These are built within the agency sites that we build for people already. So if you've requested an agency site and we've sent that to you, it's already built into the site. Like I said, if you go to the website and you go to InstaBuilder, you'll see it there, and that's where you can edit it and change it. So it's there within your site. If you haven't requested one yet, hopefully we're going to get the new design done. I'm really hoping all the new designs are going to go out. If you want, I will announce it in the group though. Of the website, and I'm not going to show you guys the design yet, but it's pretty nice. But all of them will come with this, and it's going to basically be whatever the domain is, free website / free website design, and it'll be just because that's how I've set it up. So, but you can change that, but that's what it's going to be. All right, so let's see. Let me just look at a few questions real quick. All right, so we've got a comment here. So a lot of businesses, there's basically Google is now requiring for SEO and other things, they basically are going to give they're going to favor at businesses with SSL certificates. For the new designs, it might be better, Walter, if you guys request the new design once it's released, and then we'll send it to you. That way, if someone doesn't want the new design, they don't have to necessarily get it. Yeah, and a lot of businesses are not going to do the SSL certificates themselves. Let me show you guys. This is not something I planned, but let me show you guys something right here. For those of you, some of you may already know about this, but this is a website called Cloudflare, and you can get a free SSL certificate through Cloudflare. So you come in here, you just set up an account, and what you do is you point the domain to Cloudflare and then Cloudflare back to the domain. And when you add everything into Cloudflare, it will go and it'll pull all the DNS information, so you can just get you don't mess up the emails and all these other things. It'll pull in all that information, and you can set this up pretty much seamlessly through Cloudflare to give someone an SSL certificate, and you can charge for it. So you can charge them. Monthly or yearly or however you want to do an SSL certificate for them. So anyway, great tool, definitely something you guys want to know about. So if you want to charge for SSL certificates. So anyway, we went over this, we went over that. This is something that I really also want to go over. So when you do if you do the opt-in form, like I was saying, time is really critical to getting back to someone that opts in. So my recommendation is to use a website similar to or like Zapier. So on Zapier, there's other sites like this. There's if then that, which is dot something. I think it's .com, might be .org. I think it's .com. But Zapier has kind of become one of the leading. I don't think it was the first, but it's become one of the leading integration what do you call them? I'm not exactly sure what the it's basically apps. You create these apps, and where basically you can take someone from, for instance, from Aweber. So if someone subscribes, it'll take a trigger and then it'll do an action. So if someone subscribes to your Aweber account, and this will work with MailChimp, it'll work with other autoresponders, then you send them an SMS. So, or not, you don't send them, I'm sorry, you send yourself an SMS. And so then you get a notification on your phone, hey, someone just signed up for a free website. And you can go and you can respond to them right away. And people are amazed when you do this. When you come in and they opt in and you call them up like a few minutes later and say, hey, we just got your request for a free website. Just wanted to give you a call and help you set that up. So, you can start that conversation right there. Pick up the phone. They've requested it, so it's not like making a cold call. This is making a call to a hot lead. So it's way easier to make a cold call to a hot lead than it is to do a cold call. So they come in, they fill out the information. Again, you can put your phone number on this, so they could potentially call you. But you want to get a hold of them as soon as possible. It really increases your closing ratio by contacting them right away. Every day you wait, your closing ratio is just going to go down. If you wait a day, like 24 hours is not unreasonable, but I prefer to do it within 5-10 minutes. So setting up one of these triggers when you get a new subscriber, and like I said, it doesn't have to be Aweber. They also have MailChimp and other autoresponders that you can set up for that. This is all done outside of the website. This is just its own website, and you can create a free account at Zapier. They do have paid ones, but generally you can work with a free one. So this is going to be really important because, unless you're monitoring your emails 24 hours a day, which probably most of you are not, it's nice to get that text message because often our phones are with us wherever we go and whatever we're doing. So it gives us that chance to respond to them right away and just let them know, hey, we got your request, and we'll make sure that you can we send you the information as quickly as possible to get started on the website. So you can send them an intake form and get them starting to fill that out and build their website. So let me just go through and look at if there's any other questions real quick. Right, yeah. Okay, I think I answered most of these. Okay. Not exactly sure, Don, what your question is. How do you respond, SEO, etc.? So if you could clarify that would help me. All right, so that's a good question, Don. If the client asks, will the site generate leads for my business? Don, you'd be surprised at how few businesses ask if a website will generate leads for their business. But generally what I want to do is I want to funnel them through the funnel. So I'll say, look, website by itself doesn't do anything but sit there, but we can definitely help you generate leads for your business. Let's build the website and then let's talk about that. So I want to kind of push them through. I want to because even if they ask that question, once I start getting off the outside of the funnel, and this is definitely a challenge that I struggle with, is I want to jump into the conversation way before I should. I want to tell them, hey, you can do SEO and we can do social media and we can do PPC and we can do all these cool things and tricks and gadgets and all, like, because that's what like many of you, I get excited about all of the marketing techniques out there, right? So I want to jump into them, but I have to try to hold myself back and just push them through the funnel. So it's like, let's build your website and then let's sit down and let's talk about sending traffic to it. And we can definitely do some things that will help your website better rank in the search engines by building the website, but it's not, again, a website by itself sits there, and you can send people to it, you can try to convert those people, you can do things to optimize it so it gets found in the search engines, but right now let's build it. Let's get we don't have to worry about that stuff until the website's built. So I try to, if you struggle, maybe some of you don't have that same struggle as me, but if you do, it's better to kind of hold back, let them, lead them through the funnel and do it in the correct order. Because if you jump the gun sometime, now if they came to me and said, look, I do want a website, but I'm also very interested in SEO, like I want to get SEO, if they're ready to buy, if they're giving me buy signals, I will move on and sell them SEO, because if they want to buy something, I want to sell them something, and I don't want to put off. If they're ready to buy, I will sell it to them. But if they're not ready to buy, if they're just talking about it in generalities and they're not asking about something specific, I do not do this. So Harlan, have I ever used Craigslist? Yeah, we used to do Craigslist a lot. Unfortunately, Craigslist started charging for posting, and so we don't do it quite as much, but you can still do it, but you just have to pay to post. And so we're trying to kind of wait out to see how that plays out, and then we'll probably start it up again once we learn a little bit about, because it kind of changes the dynamic of Craigslist once they start charging. And so we want to kind of step back, let other people spend money and trying to figure out what's going to perform, and then we're looking at the ads that are going to perform the best, because this whole charging Craigslist thing just happened a few months ago, so it's not that old. Yes, talk about traffic later, build the website at the beginning, build that relationship, get them in, unless they're saying, hey, look, I want a website and I also am interested in SEO. If they don't say I'm interested in SEO, if they're like talking about traffic in general, I ignore it and I keep it on the website topic. If they're talking about SEO or AdWords or Facebook ads, like they're talking about a specific way of driving traffic, then I'll probe a little bit more to see exactly if they're ready to do it. I mean, still, we got to build the website first. Let's build the website first. Let's optimize it. Let's look at sending traffic to it. If they've got a website, they're like, well, I'm really interested in sending traffic now to my current website, and I want to do it through SEO. Then I'm like, okay, let's do it now, because it's better to start now than to start later. Are there any cold email campaigns that we find that works? The one that we found that works the best is when we find outdated websites. So finding outdated websites, we don't do a ton of email campaigns. We used to do more, but outdated websites was the one that has performed the best for us over our history, because it's always been a problem. There's always people who build websites for business owners. They turn it over to the business owner. The business owner never updates it, never does anything again to the website, and they just get outdated, and they're just asking to be hacked. So yeah, that's the one we found that works the best. We haven't, because we're not doing a lot of cold email campaigns right now, we haven't tested the SSL certificates quite as much for us to say like that really works. So, but I think it would, because it is an issue, and you can basically offer an SSL certificate for free because of sites like Cloudflare. or for a small fee. Hey, it's let them know, hey, your website isn't secure, and so that's going to hurt your positioning in the search engines. And you can even send them things that Google has said themselves. Generally, prospects don't care about load time until you explain to them that affects their SEO. So Don just asked, do prospects care about load time? Generally, no. I mean, they're not thinking about load time. What a business owner thinks about is, do I like the look of my website? And how much do I have to pay for it? I mean, I know that boggles our mind sometimes because we're in the marketing world. We think everyone cares about all these other things. Everyone cares about leads. Everyone cares about load time and SSL certificates and SEO and Facebook ads and what's right for my business. But generally speaking, most business owners, the two top things that they care about are, how much is this going to cost and what does it look like? Do I like the way it looks, and is the cost reasonable? And I mean, I hate to say it, but that's the reality. Yeah. Anyway, and it's good to know that, because when you're in a conversation with a business owner, my tendency was to talk too much, was to explain too much, was to jump to all these things that they that I knew that they needed, but they didn't understand. So it was, and I found that it's much better to talk with the clients over time about these issues. It's better to talk to them over time about these little things, and it gives you a great excuse to reach out and contact them ongoing. Hey, there's this, did you know that SSL certificates are going to help you get found in the search engine, and we can set you up with doing an SSL certificate. We'll provide the certificate and manage it and make sure everything's secure for a couple $100 a year. So you can sell that, but hey, like let's look at your load time. Let's think about your load time. Like, all these things are things that business owners don't think about, and you need time to explain it to them, and you need a relationship for them to even care. Often, that's what I found. Like, you can tell a business owner, hey, you need an SSL certificate and you need to worry about load time, but until you build that relationship with them, they don't care. And it's not that they don't believe you. Well, maybe there's a little bit of that, but they have so many other things in their business that they're worried about. They're worried about their client not paying them. They're worried about finding new clients. They're worried about returning calls from people that have already called them. They're worried about following up with referrals that people have given them. They're worried about do I have to fire this employee? They're worried about do I have to hire some new people because my business is growing? These are like 80% of maybe more, maybe 90% of a business owner's main concerns. Their last concern is, is my website generating leads for me? Is my, am I SEO optimized? Now, there are exceptions to that. There are times when a business owner is hyper aware. All those other things are kind of taken care of. Their business is growing and they've got a competitor that's doing really well. And then that's generally when they're going to come in and say, hey, I'm not getting found in the search engines. Can you help me with SEO? I mean, and if they're at that point, absolutely, I'm going to sell them SEO. So Harlan's asking, if you get a client that's hosting for $100 a month, what's the average attrition rate and how long do they stay? So if you're in contact with them on an ongoing basis, Harlan, and just touching bases with them, doesn't mean you're spending an hour with them every month. Sending them a report, doing those kinds of things talking to them about their business, about their website, some things you can do to help them, and just seeing where they are, and just being a good person, right? You're just being a good person and interacting with them. Those people will not fall off, even at $100 a month, for years. So, if they feel like they're getting, and ultimately it comes down to value. What's the value? I mean, no one wants to just spend $100 a month feeling like they could spend less, right? But if you're giving them value where they're like, oh, well, I could go and get a cheapo website, or I could go with this other thing or this other, hosting company or whatever, but I get so much value out of this person, right? Just because they send me reports every month. And again, if you're sending someone a report every month, they may not, that's not something you have to do. You don't have to, those reports can go out automatically. They talk to me, they reach out to me, they touch bases with me. I can let them know, oh, hey, yeah, there is this change I want to do. And, they're there. I can pick up the phone and call them. That's value. Even if they don't pick up the phone, just knowing that they can, that's value. So your attrition rate, will be, 2, 3, 4 years, depending on the client. Yeah, I mean, if you're going after, like, and again, that's going to depend on the group that you're going after. If you're going after someone who's like, let's say, a network marketing person, like they have a network marketing business and they're saying, hey, I want a website. Those people, that their attrition rate is really high. Those people are in and out really quickly. And if I ever do a network marketing website, I always want to get paid up front. I always want to make something up front, because they just lose interest in this business that they have. Like, they signed up, they're really excited, they're ready to do a website. It's been talked up about how these people are making all this money. And then they get in there and they're like, oh, wait, this is not growing as fast as I thought it would, or doing as well as I thought it would. So their attrition rate generally is much higher than a really solid regular business. A really solid regular business is going to be years, generally speaking. So I hope that answers your question. If you're charging, a lawyer or someone like that, $100 a month, that's not a big deal for them. Like, they would rather pay you $100 a month. Even brand new lawyers would rather pay you $100 a month, or even $200 a month, knowing that you're there, knowing that you can fix things, then probably even pay like thousands of dollars a month. I'll sell them the website for a few $1,000s, and then I'll offer them a hosting maintenance package, because most of the lawyers that I know and that we've worked with, they don't want to deal with their website. They want someone kind of there to help do updates and do other things. They're making big bucks on an hourly rate, and so they don't want to spend, like, to them, if they can charge $100 an hour or $500 an hour, and they don't want to, and you can give them a website, and you do all the maintenance and everything and charge them $100 or $200 a month, that's worth it to them, because it would take them hours to deal with all of that. And so, it's actually a really good niche to be in, with lawyers, with websites. When it comes to lawyers and websites are great, and brand new lawyers even want websites. Yeah. Don is asking, are there any specific verticals that are good prospects based on my experience? So we have not, and I think I've said this in the past, we have not been super niche-y in what we've done. But I can tell you from the experience of the people that are easier to close, of the people who are like some of the best clients to maintain, a lot of the ones that you hear about are good. Lawyers and websites are really good, because it's hard to sell lawyers on marketing up front, because I generally want to charge. It's not that I necessarily even want to charge a lawyer more just because he's a lawyer. I need to charge a lawyer more because the niche itself is very competitive, right? So I'm going to spend more time, I'm going to spend more money trying to help a lawyer than I am somebody else. So it's a much bigger sale. The profit usually is higher for me, but it's also, the expense is also much higher. But it's very, very competitive. It's very competitive. So I have to charge more. I have to charge enough so that I feel like I can knock it out of the park for them. And that's something to keep in mind when you're selling a service to someone. Charge as much as you feel like you need to knock it out of the park for them, and always build in money so that if things go wrong, that you still have enough to fix it and to make it right. So that's a little nugget that, I know when you're starting out and you don't have a lot of clients, you want to take anyone, and you're willing to take less and whatever. But this is what I tell myself is charge enough that I feel like I'm going to knock it out of the park for them. And if they turn me down, if this is on the side of marketing, if they turn me down, then I can feel okay about them turning me down, because it's like, well, that's what I needed to knock it out of the park for them. If they can't spend that money to get that, then I don't know for sure. And I would rather knock it out of the park for them and do a good job than do a mediocre job and not knock it out of the park. So anyway, that's my advice as far as pricing goes. But lawyers are really great for websites, because even the new lawyers are expecting to pay thousands of dollars for a website. Brand new, fresh out of law school lawyers are expecting to pay a few $1,000s, and they're happy to pay a few hundred and pay a monthly. So that's those are great prospects with websites, with website leads. Secondly, we've also gone after a lot of the trades. So you will. It's way easy to find someone in the trades that's doing really well, that's probably has $1 million business and has a crappy website. They're out there, and there's a lot of them, right? So I mean, just go to a major city and type in, roofer or HVAC or whatever, and find the people that come up to the top. And generally on the first page, you're going to find someone who has a crappy website. That's not guaranteed, but generally you can find somebody. So anyway, those are great leads just because the need is so obvious. And you can sell the marketing later. Don't worry about the marketing at first. And if they're interested, sell it to them. But you don't try to jump in bed with someone, before you really courted them. Okay, here's a question. Do you know of a company that provides contact info on new business licenses? Like, for instance, Harlan, you're asked, like, for instance, if there was like a lawyer, like finding people who just like passed the bar or something like that. I don't know of anyone, of any company that does provide that. I mean, there probably are some. I've just never gone that route. So sorry. But you could probably find, so here's the thing, like when you find an HVAC person that's starting out, if they're starting out, you could probably sell them a $400 or $500 website, but they're going to be struggling. And so if you can build them a beautiful website for $400 or $500, they're generally pretty happy with that, and they know they kind of need it. But some of them, some of the trades people that when they're just starting out, they may not see the need for a website. So that's something to consider. With a lawyer, they kind of know they need it. When like an air conditioning person comes in, they're like, some of them, like, they maybe didn't really go to college. They learned a trade. They're not generally as savvy as some of the other people who have gone to college about web and websites and stuff like that. So if they're just starting out, it does tend to be a slightly harder sale. But brand new lawyers are great for selling a website. So okay. That's pretty much it, what I have for you guys today. I will stick around for a few minutes if we've got some additional questions, and I'll answer them. We will be, like I said, your website's already come with the landing page. So if you have your website and you've already installed it, you can go in and play around with that if you'd like to. Update it with your autoresponder. MailChimp is an easy one because it's free to use. You can sign up for MailChimp, and I think there's no upfront cost to sign up. And then you can integrate Zapier with MailChimp. And these integrations are pretty simple. Like, you basically just click on an authorization with Aweber, like on the Aweber, you authorize it to work with Zapier, and then you just say, okay, like I did right here. You say, okay, when a new subscriber comes, send an SMS number, and it's going to ask you for the number you want it to go to. This is actually, I think, a Zapier feature. So this is not through a specific SMS company. This is Zapier itself. So it's pretty easy to set it up. Let's see if there's any other questions. I'm not seeing any. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me personally. Post if you need to keep it private, post it in the Facebook group if you have a question there. You can also reach out to me. I gave this out last week, but I'm going to just throw out my number again. Is 716-299-8066. The best way to reach me is via text, because if I'm on the phone with someone, then I can usually still respond to you. But you can also call me on that number if you really need to reach someone quickly. If you're having an issue or whatever and it needs to get resolved, or if you're having an issue with us or support or whatever, please reach out to me. Let me know as soon as possible. I will get it resolved for you. So, okay. Do we get the monthly? Okay, so Wilma's asking, how do we get the monthly management? Okay, Don, the number again is 716-299-8066. 716-299-8066. So you can reach me on that number if you're really, generally try to put it in the Facebook group, try to put it through support. But if you're in a real bind, I want you guys to have someone to be able to just call and get a hold of quickly. So feel free to call me if you need to. Wilma, how do you get the monthly management? If you want us to manage your site, your client site, host them, manage them, we do have an unlimited offer where we'll do that for $99 a month. We'll do we'll manage as many clients and websites as you have. And you can go and then charge them $100 a month, whatever you need to for that maintenance. and we'll do all the maintenance for you. So if they want to update to their website, we do daily backups, we do security, we do plugin updates, we do security updates, all those types of things. We're going to take care of that. We'll take care of it all. You can go to unlimitedwebsites.co and you can. I think I posted this earlier, but I will. Well, I'm going to send it to you because I'm trying to remember what the coupon code was, and I'm not remembering what it is off the top of my head. But there is a coupon code, and you can use that code on the monthly and get it reduced down to $99 a month. And I'll send that to you personally. I'll make sure it is in the Facebook group, but it's probably buried by now. But if anyone is interested in that, feel free to reach out to me personally, or I'll plug it up to the top of the Facebook group again, and people can get access to it there. All right. Price list of services. Yes. I will. I've got a document, and I'll post that in the group as well. So you guys have all of the services that we offer, and all the services that we offer are also on the agency site. So you can go and get the information from your own agency site that we set up for you. Sorry, I had someone walk in. Sorry about that. Let me see if I answered. Okay, so how do we use the reporting platform in the day-to-day business? So generally, we are setting it up as a reporting tool. That's where we use it the most. So we will be able to then send monthly reports to our clients, whether it's about their website or their SEO or their social media. So we do have to have a Gmail account and connect Google Analytics with the website. So if they need to have a Google Analytics account, or we have it, and if we're made admin, then we can connect it, and then we can send them the reports through Google Analytics. So Harlan, the $99 a month does not include chat management for all of the websites. That would be an additional. If you wanted unlimited chat management for your websites, that would be an additional cost for that. It only includes the unlimited management of the site. So we do have an offer. Anyway, like if we have chat management people too, and if you're looking to, it's really a great upsell to websites is offering chat management on the website, and you can charge a couple $100 a month for chat management. So that's a great thing to sell, but it would be an upsell to the business. Yeah. All right. Think I answered all the questions. Did I miss anything, guys? Okay. All right. Hey guys, thanks so much for being on the call today. Sorry we went a little bit over, but I appreciate you guys sticking around for the entire call. All right, this video is going to be posted pretty much immediately once it renders in Facebook. It should be posted immediately here, so if you need to go back to it, you can. Thanks so much, guys, for coming on, and we'll talk soon. And again, if you have any questions, any issues, any do we offer pizza delivery? No. But if you have any questions or anything, feel free to reach out to us, and we'll help you guys through. If you have a client that you're not sure how to approach, or you have a question about how to talk to a client or whatever, reach out to me. It will help the group as well. Post it in the group. Let them know, hey, I've got this client. We're here to help you guys. So whatever point you get stuck at, we want to be here to help you get through that hurdle and get close those clients. So, all right, guys, we will talk next week. I'm going to keep this at the same time, Friday at 11. That was our biggest that was our biggest requested time. Yes, Harlan, that's the new design. But it's still in progress. So I wasn't gonna. There was still a few little tweaks we were trying to make. So yeah, so we didn't quite put it out there. But yeah, all right. Thanks so much, guys. I will see you next week, and we'll talk to you then. Bye.